Hello buddy, welcome back to another episode of Just What I Am playing Final Fantasy XIV. Last episode we did just more of the same stuff where we just did a lot of hunting log and a couple of quests. And from this episode onwards, since all of my classes are level 19 or higher, we're gonna once again be queuing up for dungeons, and we're gonna be doing dungeons to level up. However, before we do that... Right. I am not over... I'm so ridiculously used to just going here for my stuff. Let me go over to Limsa for a second. Freaking... I hate the panty windows on these two outfits. The Plunderer outfit. I hate it. Anyway. I'm going to turn some of these weapons that I have in my inventory, in my armory chest, specifically. Let me maybe go and put them in my inventory too. All of these things over here, I'm going to turn those into seals, since I will not be needing those anymore. Turn to inventory. Return to inventory. And so on and so forth. That is, unless if there is a weapon that could be used for my white mage. What am I doing? Could be used for my white mage or my other classes or jobs. You know, it's really annoying. I've been playing Xenoblade 3 at the same time, and in Xenoblade 3 they're called classes and not jobs. And in this game they're called jobs. It's like, why? Why must you hurt me so? Right. And there we go. So that is all of those done. Let me go and sort this. Let me also go and put some future weapons in here. You know, for by the time that we get to it, we can wear these. The infantry bandana, I guess, can be the same. But I'll just wait with those. I'll equip those myself, if necessary. Right. Let us go over to the Maelstrom Command. I keep on getting turned around. For God knows what reason. Right, so we also have these things. Right. Expert delivery. I'll hold on to the Sentetsu again, because that is a pretty rare little thing. How many steers do I have? And how many can I... Okay, I can carry a hell of a lot now, so... That is kind of a non-issue. Fish 36 Sun. The long stop Hora. Hora. I'm gonna hold on to these things, because they are a little bit on the nicer side, I would say. Well, they're actually useful, still. But not for long! Well, I guess that's kind of wrong. Yes, you get this beautiful little thing happening every single time. Which is a little bit annoying, but whatever. Right, I'll hold on to my seals, because they may prove to be quite worth it, I would say. Right, it's my conjurer. So none of these things are better, particularly. Right, good to know. Now then, let's actually go back over here and get this show on the road. Probably should have done this off camera, but eh. Whatever, this is like... I've talked about this earlier because I was thinking about maybe starting streaming. And I've been thinking about it because The way that I basically record my videos and the way that I make videos is very similar to streaming. It's like I'm actually streaming in a certain way, unless like except for, you know, the interaction with the audience. But aside from that, like the way that I structure my videos might as well be streaming, really, because I edit basically nothing. Judging by your smug expression, I'd say you've acquired a feel for maneuvering to exploit enemy weaknesses whilst covering your own. Vultures are wont to keep their opponents at wing's length, and their attacks will send you flying. The solution to this is simple: maneuver to the rear. Tree slugs, on the other hand, have an annoying knack for disrupting spellcasting with their secretions. As such, you would do well to keep the creatures away from any mages in your party. Needless to say, good positioning is the key to success in battle, which is why it is absolutely essential that you know your target's traits. The knowing of these traits is a fundamental part of hunting. Before the Keepers of the Moon conceived of archery, they dwelt not in the city but the forest. For my people, hunting was a way of life. In hindsight, I suppose this was more a lesson on hunting than on archery. Still, Lucienne knows well my past. Mayhap that was her intent. Hunting too is an art. Before I came to Gridania, I never gave it much thought, but the more I think of home, the more I begin to realize. Forgive me. I'm not given to fits of sentiment, truly. Forget I said anything. But do not forget that a hunter must recognize her prey's weakness, and strike swiftly when the opportunity presents itself. That concludes the lesson. Now I suggest you pay Lucienne a visit. She is doubtless eager to hear from you. Cutscene. It is good to see you, Lynn. I hope you have learned much from Leia. You adventurer, is it true? Are you the one who slew the tree slugs and vultures? Yes. How dare she entrust the security of our people to the hands of a stranger? I know my Makota were reckless, but she's downright irresponsible. Shame on her. Did I not warn you that it was folly to suffer that woman's presence in our guild, Lucienne? Every time she wastes an arrow on game, she drags our noble art back into the darkness. Aye, and this girl too. She is an embarrassment to us all. That is quite enough, Sylvain. Your skill with the bow is undeniable, as is your love for our nation. Yet there is much and more you have yet to learn about archery. Lynn has matured greatly in the short time that she has been with us. You know this to be true. I suggest you come to terms with Lynn's presence here. You'll be giving her her next lesson, after all. Unless, of course, you have any objections. Good. As for you, Lynn, I would have you devote yourself wholly to training ahead of your lesson with Sylvain. Suffice it to say, he will not be an easy instructor to impress. On that we can agree. Right. I'm gonna get my thing going again. This is the level 10 one, alright. This freaking sounds. As you learn Peloton. Oh, I love Peloton. Also this outfit. Right. So, Peloton. Increase movement speed of self and nearby party members. Effect ends when enmity is generated. So once you enter combat, this effect fades, but outside of combat you can basically give everybody a movement buff. Right. Let's get it going. Welcome back, Lynn. I trust you have been keeping your nose to the grindstone. As I mentioned when last we spoke, you will train under Sylvain's tutelage today. Put aside your misgivings and avail yourself of his wealth of experience. Go now. Present yourself before him. I see it was too much to hope that you would not return. The others believe that you have potential, but I am not so easily convinced. Like so many adventurers, you have not the faintest inkling of what it means to be like an archer. Or what it is like to be an archer, whatever. And how could you? Archery is the proud tradition of the Wildwood Ellison. The essence of this art, to read one's enemy, has been instilled in all of us, in us over centuries. In that time, we have defended this great nation against every imaginable foe, granting us insight which you will never possess. Can you recognize the subtle signs that betray a coming action? No. Can you accurately predict an opponent's movements? No. Can you glean your foe's intentions at a glance? No. And can such things be learned by one who knows nothing of our traditions? No. It is only out of respect for Lucienne that I have agreed to teach you. Go to the east route and seek out the targets hidden there. But do not presume this will be as easy as before. As I told you, the ability to read one's enemies is fundamental to archery. Yet the trials set by my colleagues did not require you to do this. Mine will. The targets you seek have been hidden, and I do mean hidden, in the midst of a region rife with savage beasts. They will play the part of your enemies. In the unlikely event that you spy a target, your limited range will necessitate that you slip past its bestial guardians prior to taking aim. A feat I consider beyond you. Was that a frown? Perhaps you're thinking that the Mikote set you a similar task? You're wrong. She asked merely that you consider where your foes are. I demand that you discern precisely where they will be. Now, how then will you go about this? Observe them closely and discern their characteristics. Learn to read their movements and recognize patterns in their behavior. If it has eyes, let it not see you. If it has ears, let it not hear you. Be neither where it is nor where it means to be, and thereby pass unnoticed. But enough talk. Whether or not you heed my counsel is your decision. I will shed no tears should you fail. I've noticed that Ellison tend to be assholes. Which is kind of sad. Right, let's go and turn to my Lancer. And let's go and get the next thing. Off we go to the Lancers Guild. Away! Alley-up. Hello. Ah, Lynn. You come at a good time. I urgently require your help. Scarcely a bell ago, our friend Falcus paid us another visit, seemingly intent upon reprising the performance he gave on the day of your first meeting. As on that occasion, he raved till the air was thick with slanders, declaring every soul who met his gaze were more craven than the last. This time, however, not all ears were deaf to his myriad provocations. It seems one of our younger members took offense at his words, and demanded satisfaction of the rogue. The two have since departed to duel in the East Shroud. Had I been on hand, I would have forbidden such folly, and rebuked the lad for letting pride cloud his judgment. Alas, I'll only be too late, and the boy is gone. All we can do now is ensure that the hot-headed fool does not come to lasting harm. I would have departed in pursuit of the pair ere you came, but my duties keep me here. That is why I turn to you now, Lynn. Pray go to the East Shroud in my stead and watch over our comrade. Alright. Let's go and switch to my White Mage. My White Mage. I might as well call him White Mage, really. Technically I'm a Conjurer, but, you know. Conjurer, White Mage, it's the same. It's literally the same. Also go and extract some material from these robes. There we go. It is good to see you again, Lynn. By the aura you exude, it is plain you have grown further as a conjurer. The time has come that you acquaint yourself with the third element of our art, water. For the first part of your lesson, you are to take this flask of pristine water and pour it at the foot of the hedge tree found near the Hawthorne hut. The water's purity will draw forth the corrupting entity that is siphoning the tree's life force. Dispatch this being and then speak with Brother Joachim. Well, yeah, at the Hawthorne hut. As you might expect, he is a conjurer with a fine ear for the murmurings of brook and stream. Listen well to his advice if you would learn to master the element of water. So back in ye olde day, when I first played this game, you used to be able to get a water spell from this, I think, and that water spell would bind enemies, but they removed it because binding enemies is can't really say is very useful. Would be useful if it, you know, actually continue to bind to the enemy even after you attack it. A flask of water drawn from the banks of a pristine lake in the East Shroud. Water and water and water, water and water and water, water and water. Anyway, another thing that happened off camera, of course, by leveling up my good old Conjurer, I also unlocked Stone 2. So it's just a trait, it just upgrades Stone to Stone 2. So now we have a more satisfying Stone spell. And also does more damage, of course. What is the difference between potencies, actually? Let me check. 140 and 190. A 50, like 50 extra potency. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. Right, let's go over to Joachim. Hello. Greetings then, brother Esumian, or Esumi, whatever. Inform me if you're coming. I assume it was you who purified the befouled water at the hedge tree? The joyous bubbling of the elementals was a pleasure to hear. On behalf of both of them and myself, I thank you. Now without further ado, let us speak of that which Brother Esumi sent you here to learn. I trust you did not find it strange to be asked to tend to a tree when your lesson this day concerns the element of water. One need not have studied botany to realize that the forest requires more than rich soil to flourish. Water is essential for carrying the nutrients in the earth, from a tree's roots all the way to the very tips of its leaves. This precious liquid is the lifeblood of the Twelvewood. Without it, naught would grow. But should it rise in too great volume and too swiftly, the nourishing flow will become a crashing wave that washes away all before it. It is important to realize that all of nature is in balance. As Conjury derives its powers from nature, or its power from nature, we must take care not to use our art in a manner like to disrupt the state. Ever must we be mindful of the ceaseless tug of war embodied in creation, this fruitful stalemate of the elements. Okay, Maxime Millois, I think. But Joachim, are you about? I am here, sir. What has transpired? I heard a young antelope stag has gone berserk. I don't know what's got him so panicked, but there's no calming him down. The mad beast gorged the soldiers sent to shepherd them away from civilian settlements, leaving us with a pile of wounded over at Jocelyn Spire, and not enough hands to stanch the bleeding. We need a healer and fast. Curious. I sense nothing amiss in the whisperings of the elementals. What could have frightened these antelopes so? Apologies. I shall revisit these musings anon. Let us make haste. If matters are as chaotic as you say, I fear the number of injured may be rising as we speak. I doubt that we too will suffice. We must divide our forces. Then travel straight away to Jocelyn Spire and tend to the wounded. I shall endeavor to rally further healers. That's an interesting way to say that. And follow after you bearing what restorative unguents I can. Nod. You, sir, head to Stilglade Fane and beseech the aid of Brother Esumi. Off he goes. And off I go to heal the wounded. Is it up on this tower place? Oh, where? Where? Is it in here? Who are... A conjurer, you say? Praise Nofika. You've come not a moment too soon. Sounds like yet more wounded have just been carried in. Pray offer them what aid you can. Right. Wounded wood. Mailer. Cure! I can breathe again. Thank you. Archery button in the distance. These folk are out of the danger for the present, but I fear our reprieve shall be brief. The battle with the stags yet rages, and there are reports of yet more wounded. I bid you join the wood whalers and help put an end to this. Seek them out. Seek them just off of the road that leads to the northeast. And do not worry, my art should be sufficient to prevent matters from worsening here. Now go. Right, this way. Ah, an instance. Come lend a hand, have you? Quickly, the fight's this way. Conjurer, your aid! The power of the antelope compels thee. And thus we cast stone over and over again. But then there are more. Stand firm. Also, a random water sprite. Don't know what you're doing here, buddy, but... Going. Wow, my cure is so useless. Most of the time in these instances, since, like, people, or NPCs in any case, usually don't avoid attacks, it means that they give the NPCs a lot more HP to be able to survive the things. However, the bad thing is that since I have so much HP, a lot of the time your healing will not be up to snuff. Ba, ba, ba. Oh god. This Void Whaler is not feeling too good. There we go. Ba, 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 ba. A conjure! I cannot stand much longer! Your HP is not 0, so we win. Cough, wheeze. Miss? Or whatever. I'm fine. Don't mind me. Pray tell me we are not too late. Sylvie, what have you done? I forbade you from using such methods. Guildmaster. I will not see you repeat your mother's mistakes. My mother never did anything wrong. Then, may I ask that you follow her, please? I fear my presence will only serve to provoke her further. She cannot have gone far in her weakened state. I don't understand. When I try to cast spells, nothing happens. When I reach for my power, there's just nothing there. Is this what the Guildmaster was trying to warn me about? Blah, blah, blah. He said I was repeating my mother's mistakes. The same thing happened to her. Losing her magic, I mean... And then she... Am I going to die? This can't be happening. I don't think... Please, I need to be alone. Right. That is all of that. Next up, let us go and see what this little jewel is about over here. Ba-da, ba-da. So you meet again. You remember who I am, I trust? Yeah. But of course you remember your mentor. He who taught you the true meaning of courage. I understand you were able to retrieve the Stone of Courage in Spirit Hall. At Spirit Halls. It seems I was right about you. Ah, you have the markings of a true Lancer, unlike those charlatans at the Lancers Guild. It is well that you have come to me, for I have just a trial for you. One that will do wonders for your courage. Not interested, you say? Ah, but you have no choice. Should you refuse, well, suffice it to say that I will no longer be able to guarantee the safety of your comrade here. When last we spoke, I told you that a Lancer may forge true courage only in the midst of a great danger. Needless to say, the threat posed by ordinary creatures is insufficient. You must seek out a better sport. Ah, but fear not, for I have taken the liberty of finding you something suitable. Take this alchemical potation, what? Alchemic potation, whatever, and sprinkle it upon the exposed roots yonder. Doing so will garner the wrath of a certain creature, which you must then strike down. A highly toxic liquid entrusted to you by the rogue Lancer Falcus. Or Falky? Yeah, whatever. Angered Elm. You have angered me. Prepare to dine upon my canopy. Ah, I'm dead. Rip. He shall be missed. So you have vanquished the Treant. Well done. By striking down that frenzied creature, you have further strengthened your courage. Release your comrade. Oh, I shall. Once you have completed my next trial. This one will pit you against a multitude of foes. Make your way to Lifeman's Stump in the Central Shroud. Once there, seek out a likely spot along the forest path to lie in wait. Man-eating wolves are wont to hunt her at this time of year, and it should not be long before a pack appears. When the beasts show themselves, you are to slay their leader, the Alpha Wolf. I shall be observing from up close, the better to offer you advice. Alright. Meanwhile, since I'm here, may as well go and get this archery thing going. Nicely hidden, buddy. Let me go and just use good old Peloton. Right, so there's another one over here somewhere. You son of a bitch. Guess I wasn't high enough level to just run past you. At least I'm high enough level to kill you pretty dang quickly. Right. Am I seriously gonna get... I was about to say, am I seriously gonna get laughed at by the game? When just said, man, nicely hidden, bro. And then not be able to find one. Sounds like a thing that would happen in this. That seems like a thing that would happen to me. Yeah. Feels very familiar. There we go. Right. So that's back at Silver. Let's go over here. And do the Lancer one. Whoopsie. Yeah. Good old hiccups. Ah, an instance. Thought as much. Waiting, 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 waiting. Congratulations, you have waited enough. Let the fun begin. Right. Ba-ba-da-ba. Oh, Falky is actually helping. That's interesting. Ba-ba-da-ba. Why did I do that? Needed to do True Strike first. That was weird. Packles. A potent blinding wow. You used a fucking blinding potion on me. Wow. What an asshole. My part here is done, I leave the rest to you. This guy. This guy. What an asshole. There we go. Oh, I just forgot that, I just noticed that I forgot to remove the freaking chat box thing. Or put it back, whatever. You are to be congratulated, Lynn. By throwing yourself into the midst of danger, you have further tempered your courage. And in the process, you have brought peace to a Life-Meant stamp, a place considered sacred by the people of Gridania. Having undertaken my trials, you must now see that those issued by the guild are naught but child's play. Mine is the one true path to courage. All others lead to ignominy, whatever. If you wish to become a lancer worthy of the name, I suggest you leave Ewain and his house of cravens, never to return. For your sake, I pray you do so soon, till we meet again. Right. Oh yeah, right. Let's actually block the chat this time. I feel like chat blocking is more like important if I'm going into dungeons or whatever, I suppose. God, son of a... Nothing happened. Just nothing. Right. Let's go over to the Lancer skill and finish up this quest. Asuka. She looks pretty cool. Hello. Link, thank the gods you're safe. That young fool of a lance returned but moments ago, and through choked tears, recounted to me all that has transpired. I understand Falquist, or Falcus, I'm just gonna call him Falcus because it sounds cool, again attempted to force upon you his corrupted notion of courage. I cannot say this often enough, a lancer strengthens his courage by tempering his composure and resolve, not by rushing headlong into danger. You were able to overcome Falcus's trials, it's true. Yet know that you did so by virtue of true courage, that is, courage born of composure and resolve. You faltered not before the fury of a frenzied treant, nor did you succumb to panic when surrounded by bloodthirsty wolves. Owing to this, you were able to perform to the fullest of your potential. Lyn, you have come far, Lyn. It is past time that I taught you the piercing talon technique, one of the most versatile weapons in the Lancer's arsenal. May it serve you well. Now I must needs decide what course of actions to take with regard to your self-appointed mentor. Though no lives were lost, this latest incident only serves to confirm what I've long suspected, that Falcus will cause great harm if left to propagate his corrupted notion of courage. He must be persuaded to desist, though I do not yet know how. Mayhap his regard for you could be turned to our advantage, but leave such considerations to me. For the time being, you would do well to put Falcus from your mind, focus on your training, and strive to master the technique I have taught you. I look forward to our next meeting. Right. Nothing that good, so I'll just go in. Get the money! Give me your money! As we learn Piercing Talon, which is our ranged attack. The potency of 150. Let's go and wear the interesting outfit. And I guess I may as well grab the next quest. I've been expecting you, Lynn. You have been training hard, I trust. I would set you your next trial, one more dangerous than any you have faced before. But I would not send an unprepared woman to her death. Before I proceed, I must need to verify your progress with mine own eyes. You will face 3 experienced lancers in single combat. Defeat each one in succession, and you will prove yourself fit to undertake the trial. Arm yourself and take place in the training area. We begin when you are ready. Alright. Waiting. But not as long. Soft-spoken Lancer. No one is to hold back. Begin. Next. The grizzled Lancer. Oh, how grisly you look. I love how these two people are perfectly in sync. Next. The sharp-eyed Lancer. It's interesting though. This armor doesn't really seem like it would be the best for protecting oneself. Enough. Put up your lance. Duty complete. Well done, then. Really? What the fuck is the point of some of these cutscenes? And I got the cutscene. Alright. Impressive, Lynn. Most impressive. You're ready to face the trial. Yet I did not exaggerate when I said it would be dangerous. Make no mistake, to take this test is to risk death. Knowing this, do you still wish to proceed? Yeah. You disappoint me. Back again, are you? That woman is the only soul in this pathetic excuse for a guild who shows any promise. Which is why I counseled her to leave you. Alas, she chose to remain in your house of cravens. Such a waste. This guild has outlived its purpose, and I mean to see its doors shut and barred for good. If you wish to object, I invite you to do so with lance in hand. You do not want for confidence, sir, but answer me this. What grudge do you hold against us? For what reason did you choose this of all crusades? I detest cravens who would proclaim their courage, and like nothing better than to crush them. That is my reason. Well, the fixity of your purpose is clear, even if your reasoning is not. So be it. Suffice it to say you will not have your way without a fight. Oh, but do not presume that I will be your opponent. No, you must face the Lancer over whom you so grandly claimed mentorship. The one woman among us whose potential you condescended to acknowledge. Lynn shall represent us all. As Guildmaster, I wager the fate of the guild upon her lance. Ha! Do as you will, coward. It is your guild to throw away. You may even set the terms of the contest. Very well. Then here is here to undertake a trial. I challenge you to complete the task before she does. You are to travel to the Eastshroud and prove your courage before the Lord of the Bramble Patch. He is a giant among boars, unrivaled in strength and savagery, ruler over all his kind. You must go before this fearsome creature and stand your ground. Know, though, that the Lord of the Bramble Patch will not grant an audience to just anyone. You must needs present him an offering of the bloody tusks of his subjects, the wild boars that inhabit his domain. When you have prepared your offering, leave it upon an area of trampled earth. Drawn to the stench of blood, the Lord of the Bramble Patch will soon appear. That is all. Are there any questions? No? Then let the trial commence. Alright, so I'm normally supposed to do this faster than this other dude, but I'm gonna be, you know, finishing my other things. I clicked on this. Oh god. Jesus. Don't know what happened. But something definitely happened. So you have returned. A passable performance for an adventurer, but a bare minimum for any archer. I carry with me generations of wildwood traditions. A tradition built upon the bones of the many outsiders who tried to take what is ours. It was my ancestor who first learned to conceal their presence and fight from the shadows. To hold the enemy at a distance to protect the weak. All of it, everything was... This is a waste of time, you cannot understand. But if you are so intent upon following in the footsteps of my people, I bid you go to the North Shroud. Ixali's scouts have been sighted near the river west of Etat's Spire. And unless you are entirely ignorant of Gridanian history, I need not explain that this act of aggression is part of a centuries-old conflict. The means do not matter, it is their leader, Nezul Catlan the Violator, who must fall. He commands the scouts and will be well guarded, yet he stands upon hostile grounds. With birdmen and not walls for protections, with birdmen and not walls for protection, whatever. If you are diligent and determined, you can slip through the defenses and slay their leader. This is the art of the Gridanian archer. Embrace the wisdom I have bestowed upon you, and the fight will be short. If you see the deed done, adventurer, I will take it as proof of your commitment to us and labor no more to drive you from the guild. Now go. We also can see if I can finish off. Yeah, I can. Okay. I can finish off the conjure quest. This way. I should also drink something in a moment. Because my voice is being sorely tested. As per usual. Not too big of a surprise. TBH. I love this one. Violators will be shot. Shot through the heart. And you're too late. I forgot to block the chat again. Anyway. Lynn, you have returned at last. Were you able to speak with Sylphie? I see. I once taught you that conjurers harness the power of nature that they might bring about change. Earth, wind, water, healing, the principle is no different. For the art of mending, we draw on the boundless life force of nature and bestow it upon the wounded. Sylphie has never sought to borrow that from that bounty. Her power to heal stems from her own life force. The vital energies of mortals are, however, finite, and now that which I most feared has come to pass. Her mother unwittingly took her own life through the continued use of her healing skills, and Sylphie's aptitude for the art is, if anything, even greater. Thus, it is not unexpected that she should reach the limits of her strength at a much earlier age. If you do not interfere, this terrible tragedy will be repeated, and I for one could not bear to see the child suffer the same fate as her mother. I shall think on a solution to this dark dilemma. It may be that I will have need of your assistance in the near future, Lynn. Do not doubt your abilities. You are a conjurer who has passed the trials of earth, wind, and water. You grow closer to nature with every passing day, and I sense within you seeds of greatness. In your encounter with water, you learned of its role as a bringer of life, but you also felt the implacable power of a surging wave as it swept you along in its path. Like earth and wind and nature at large, the element of water is possessed of more than one aspect. Having completed the third lesson, I am satisfied that you have mastered the fundamentals of conjuring. Yet this is but the beginning of your journey. Henceforth, you must strive to attune yourself ever more closely to the elements and to nature. That is a cowl which I will not wear if I can avoid it. Really? Not enough XP, huh? That's a little bit annoying. Let me go and equip this thing over here. And then this thing. Alright. Let me go and update my gear set. I'm also going to equip the brass spear, since that is also an upgrade. Right. The archery thing. Okay. Let's go and do violators will be shot. Yeah, sure. We can do that still. I'm, however, first going to go and pour in a glass of some beautiful little soda. Wow, showers over here. This is a weather type that I don't see too often. You have like rain and there's showers. This is like showers. Which is pretty damn cool. Alright. Let's get it going. Let's fucking go! A glim harvest? That's interesting. Right. Waiting. 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 Proceed. I'm a pro and I will proceed. Ba-ba-da-ba. Ba-ba-da-ba. How about you turn around, buddy? Either that or I just kill you. Ba-ba-da-ba. It would seem that I will have to kill you instead. Squawk! There we go. Oh, cool. So no matter what I do, all these buggers are gonna attack me. It's all in my forest. Not if I have anything to say about it. This freaking music, man. This entire game is filled with so much, honestly, memorable music. Even just like the most basic song is just good in this game. Stone. Are you ready for my ultimate spell? Stone! Ah! Right, and that is all. That is all for that. Now let us go and do the boar thing. Well, I think I'm gonna do that in the next episode then. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Just Chat where I was playing Final Fantasy XIV. And next episode we're gonna go and continue with even more of the same. Goodbye. I forgot to block the chat again. I hate myself.